I wish those involved in it well.
Carol Beaumont,
Speaker,
5
sorry.
minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, this is the last chance for those across the House. This is it, the third reading of the New Zealand International Convention Centre Bill. It's the last chance for members opposite to listen to their conscience. And a number of members opposite, I understand, have concerns about gambling. Some of them have actually said quite explicitly that they are concerned about gambling harm. Piseta Sam Lotoinga, for example, talks about the scourge of gambling in his community, in the Asian community, in the Pacific community, in working class households. We know that there is harm, and this will increase gambling harm. And so Labor is saying that, well, we will certainly regulate to prevent gambling harm, and colleagues across here are extremely concerned about the communities that will be affected by gambling harm as a result of this dodgy deal. And this bill and the agreement that it seeks to implement are inconsistent with the widely agreed and well-established objectives of harm minimisation in the Gambling Act. And furthermore, it's also inconsistent with the established sinking lid policy of the Auckland City Council, which actually has reduced the number of pokie machines. And one of the contributions I recall during the passage of this bill was members opposite, or a member opposite, standing up and saying, oh no, I mean, you know, the number of pokie machines has decreased under this government. Well, it was nothing to do with the government's action. It was everything to do with the Auckland Council's sinking lid policy. And so we know that the deal itself introduces a huge number of additional gaming tables, electronic gaming machines, a whole range of new and increased opportunities for gambling harm. And harmful gambling has major costs. Obviously and immediately to people it is the loss of the money that they gamble away. But that then leads to other consequences. It leads in some cases to the loss of their home, to family breakdowns, in some cases suicides and murder. And it also increases the ability of dodgy lenders to target people. And I know well from my own experience in talking to people about loan sharks, the involvement of people like that in targeting problem gamblers and providing them with further money for them to gamble away. And in some cases that is absolutely criminal activity. I spoke to one man who had actually been held against his will, had his passport taken, who had been physically harmed and who had threats made against his family because of debts that he had racked up because he was a problem gambler at Sky City. And this will just increase that. And so in doing that, this bill provides the opportunity for the casino to continue to have renewals through to 2036 and removes the Gambling Commission from that process and thereby cancels the requirement to consider an independent casino impact report in each of those years. Now, supposedly, and listening to some of the speakers this afternoon, this is about the economic benefits of this deal. This International Convention Centre is worth this harm. Well, actually, a lot of us have got a lot of questions about this process. Certainly, there was no transparent evaluation process for this so-called economic development initiative, and there were no competitive bidding process because it was a shonky deal done by members opposite, starting from the Prime Minister and through some of his other senior colleagues. There were others. I remember my colleague Jacinda Ardern speaking, I think it was in the committee stages, about the number of other players that were interested in promoting a convention centre. So nobody across here is necessarily concerned with the idea of a convention centre for Auckland if the numbers stack up, but it should have been a level playing field for people to bid for that, and it was not, because this was a shonky deal done. And the figures that were used to benefit that, Treasury even expressed strong concerns that private benefits to Sky City will exceed public benefits to New Zealanders. And certainly ministers have undervalued the worth of additional pokie machines and gaming tables and the 27-year extension to the exclusive licence given to Sky City. And also at the same time, of course, has been a decline in the number of international arrivals for conferences. So we are concerned also about the numbers.
Denise Roche.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When this bill comes to the vote this afternoon for its third and final reading, I implore the members